What's up guys, welcome to a brand new video. In this video we're going to discuss about how to manage your trade. Managing your trade is a very important aspect in trading, as in where to take profit is very important, as you don't want to be holding too long, but you also don't want to be cutting your winners. So let's just straight up dig into the charts. So what we can see here, let's say we are gonna trade ping pong, right? I'm just gonna roughly mark my supply and demand zones. As you guys know, ping pong structure is very simple. What can we see? Okay, we have some liquidity here. What do we expect? We do expect price to potentially come up to the supply or demand zone, right? So let's just wait for either one side to get tagged in. Boom, the supply gets tagged in. Let's say just without confirmation, I would sell for here. I'm just gonna give a random. I am gonna target this demand zone, and I'll give you an explanation why, right? If you look at the 4-hour chart, we can see that we are in a 4-hour demand zone, meaning that GBP/USD is likely to switch bullish, right? And due to this, we could easily see price going higher and higher. That's why we don't want to. Actually, you don't really want to short, but let's say you want to counter trend. Anyway, you always want to TP at a demand zone. So what I always say is, if you're trading continuations, focus on either a higher time frame POIs, as in 4-hour demand zones, supply zones, or focus on liquidity, as in the highs and the lows, or obviously combine liquidity with supply and demand zones, as in this right here. You see the same thing what I'm doing. So this is what you should do. And then let's say if you buy from this low here, you could always buy up to these highs, right? So let's see. And I mean, this trade could either go break even or TP. It doesn't really matter, because we're just trying to show um, that where you should take profit, right? It does not really matter what this trade does, as I'm not taking any confirmations whatsoever. But yeah, as you can see, exactly pinpoint hit TP, right? So if you would have taken your TP here, which is pointless, as obviously this is a demand zone, but it's inducement. I've spoken about inducement a lot, and if you know what inducement is, you know properly that you should not have taken this zone, and you have TP to full extent. Now let's say you enter here on a buy, right? A sell there. Where would you possibly take profit? Well, personally, I don't really like to hold for a very long time. That's why I would just take the recent supply zone, right? This is what I would take, and then basic TP right here. Boom, TP hit, right? Obviously, your RR is going to be a little bit different, as you're going to take entry based on confirmation, but this is very basic, right? You always want to make sure that you're taking profit correctly. Let's say, for example, let me refine this demand zone for you real quick. What do we see? We see an internal change of character flipped, meaning that we are potentially still bullish. What would I do? I would simply buy from here again. And this time I want to target a little bit higher into this supply zone right here with liquidity combined, right? So let's see if this will hit. Now, obviously, this trade, if it hits or not, it doesn't really matter because of confirmation, right? If you don't get confirmation, you don't want to enter. Well, it's going to take a little bit. It stops you out, but I want to see if it goes a little bit deeper. Okay, well, now we see that, okay, this trade, well, obviously it went down, but the overall point is that the target is still going to remain the same, right? Let's say if you buy from here, the target is still going to be those highs and that supply zone right there, right? I mean, now it is live market conditions, which I didn't expect. So what this is about is when you're trading all this, right? Let me go back in time a little bit more and then show you guys again. When you're trading all this, what you want to do is, first of all, look at the higher time perspective, right? Well, clearly we can see the G is bearish, right? Clearly G was bearish. So if you want to short, we can have a little bit of a deeper target comparing to when we run along, right? So if you're trading with the trend, you could always target furthermore, right? If I'm, for example, let me say I want to short from here, right? Now, obviously, I wouldn't really short from here, but let's say I want to short from here. I don't see a point targeting this demand zone, right? Instead of this, I'll just go for a 4-hour PY or 4-hour liquidity zone, right? Let's say, for example, let me get this POI a little bit. I mean, this one's pretty far away. Let's take this POI for example, right? This POI is a little bit big. You would obviously refine it, but I'm just giving a rough example. Let's say you would have taken this right now. If the trade is TP or SL, doesn't really matter, because we're gonna look at the end result, which is, does price go there, right? Um, Obviously, you always want to make sure that you use confirmation. Price could always go higher and mitigate higher, obviously. But I just want to see if price comes to entry, right? So what you see here is that obviously, what does price do? It comes to the demand zone we did say, right? If you're trading ping pong, this was the demand zone. And yes, it did give an entry, it did go a little bit up. But if you held, then obviously your target would have been met because of the higher time frame narrative, right? Because you're trading a continuation model instead of a reversal. And when you're trading a reversal, you want to TP at a demand zone, right? Let's say we are in a reversal right here. Where I want to TP is at a supply zone. Why? Because the overall trend is still bearish. Even though, yes, we are a bigger demand zone, the trend is still bearish, right? And because we're trading reversals, you want to trade towards a short-term supply or demand zone, right? So you want to trade towards a place where you would take a trade for a continuation, right? Let's say, for example, we're going up. I want to take a trade, let's say, for example, from this supply. I'm going to trade towards this supply then, right? Obviously, price could always not come to this supply and then go down. That's not really the point. That doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you want to trade with trend. And if you trade reversal, you want to make sure that you know where you're taking profit and where you're taking a stop loss and where you potentially are targeting, right? You want to make sure that you cut your losers on time, which is a simple plain stop loss. Never move your stop loss, never do none of that dumb shit. Just have your stop loss at a strict place, keep it, close your MT5, whatever. And for TP, let your winners run, as in have it correctly. Don't get too greedy. Respect your plan. What I usually do is I have markups from the previous day, and that's usually my target. I don't really have to look when entering a trade to my target because from the previous day I already have my markup, so I just simply target that. So that's very, very simple and plain and basic, right? So I hope you guys understand it. This was pretty simple. I hope you guys understood everything that I said. Just simple how you manage your trades, where to TP, where to take your uh, loss or whatever. Don't take partials. Nobody take partials unless I'll only say this: you could take partial when there's news. Unless any of that happens, fuck partials, fuck moving break even, right? Except if there's news. So that's it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.